A pension can make up one of the biggest sources of income for retirees. If you have a pension and you're getting ready to retire, you'll want to stay tuned. Okay, Alex, for those that are retirees out there today, we want to talk about the pensions and the decisions that come with that. Most common is whether to take a lump sum and create the income yourself, or to take the pension or the annuity or whatever you want to call it as far as a monthly income stream. So we're going to talk about the pros and cons that come along with that. First off, when we talk about taking the lump sum option, there are several things to consider. First one is that if there are no or only small cost of living adjustments, that may be a factor towards the lump sum. Tell us more.
That's right. Yeah. So again, to clarify, if you have a pension option, like a monthly pension option, and that pension option either has no cost of living adjustments or very small cost of living adjustments, this could be an argument or a reason to take the lump sum. Again, cost of living adjustments are something that would allow your monthly income to increase over time, hopefully to keep up with the pace of inflation, right? So inflation is the cost of goods around us going up over time. And that's actually one of the sneaky risks in retirement, right? Is that everything around me is getting more expensive. And if my income doesn't keep up with those increased prices, really what I have is a real loss of purchasing power, right? My dollars don't go as far today as they did in the past, right? Because of inflation. So again, to recap, if your pension options either have no cost of living adjustments or it's very small, it's minute, the lump sum is a good choice to look at.
Yeah, and too often we see people not pay attention to those cost of living adjustments. They only look at that initial income, but that doesn't tell the whole story. So the other advantage of a lump sum is if someone desires flexibility.
Exactly. And so really what this means is someone who desires the ability to increase their income, and it might seem counterintuitive, but also the ability to lower income, right? There might be some years where you have an influx in income and it makes sense to be able to control how much income you're getting, and you could, with a lump sum, you can control that. You could lower your income for those high income tax years, right? And so this becomes especially important for retirees, one, because taxes can become one of your biggest expenses in retirement, but two, it has a ripple effect and impact on other things such as Medicare premiums, which no one likes to pay. No one likes to see that increase. That letter that they get that says, hey, we're going to be increasing your Medicare premiums. That's not a fun pill to swallow. Yeah. So with a lump sum, you have more control and flexibility should you need to increase income or take a larger sum of money out, or you can decrease the income.
Yeah, great. So that flexibility is really important, especially from a tax planning standpoint. So now let's talk about two key considerations to take the pension option or the annuity option. Number one is, well, if that pension option involves a strong cost of living adjustment and or a high monthly payout.
Yeah, exactly. The lump sum option doesn't always make sense, right? And we'll often see this with teachers in California. That's one that we see very often. I know, Anthony, you see that a lot, right? Their pension plans very often skew in the favor of taking the monthly pension option. And that's typically because there's a decent or a pretty strong cost of living adjustment on there. But secondarily, I mean, the monthly payout is it's strong. It's a high payout, right? The rate of return that you would need to generate on a lump sum of money, right? If you take that lump sum and invest it to take income, it's just too high, right? The math, the numbers, it makes sense to take the monthly income from the pension, but you have to do an analysis on that, right? It's not something you can just look and make a decision. You have to get a spreadsheet out and start digging into the details.
Yeah, that comparison is really important. So, all right, second thing is that if someone desires stability over, the optimization of a lump sum.
Yeah, exactly. And this is something that, the first bullet point we talked about, it's really digging into the numbers. This is less about the numbers, right? This is more about the soft side of things. People who desire the stability, they desire knowing that, this is my guaranteed Monthly income, yeah, I know it might be more optimized to take the lump sum. I may not have as high of cost of living adjustments, but the peace of mind knowing that I'm just going to have that monthly income stream coming in, I don't have to think about it, right? And I don't want to outsource to an advisor to help me create that income stream. That's something to consider. That can often be a reason why people will take the pension income option.
Yeah, and it's not an easy decision. It's not always black and white. There are other factors to consider. If you're married,
Yep.
and you have to consider the survivorship issues,
Yep.
things like that. They really do require that in-depth analysis, because with this type of decision, it's a once in a lifetime decision. It's something that you're going to live with for, the next 20, 30, 40
Yeah.
years. And getting it right, at least what's most appropriate for you. Do you have other stable sources of income? That type of thing. What is your preference for risk? All these things need to be considered. Now, Alex, you wrote a great blog post explaining this in more detail. We'll go ahead and post that in the show notes as well. So if you are a retiree, or if you're getting ready to retire, you have a pension option and you desire to have that type of analysis done, these are the types of things that we help people with through the financial planning process. If you'd like to talk to us more about it, we'd love to hear from you. Go to our website, give us a call. We would love to talk.